Hi, I'm Rachel. This is Body by Bender Mat Pilates, and we're going to get started today with a quick 25-minute workout, just starting off actually on all fours in the mat, not in our backs, plot twist. So, still, not standing, which is usually how I like to start any workout. So I want you to bring your wrists right underneath your shoulders, your knees are under your hips, and just press the tops of your feet down to the floor. So the soles of your feet are up towards the sky. Try to press those shins down into the mat as much as you can. And really try to open your collarbones, so don't sink down here. The collarbone's open and we're lifting from right behind the shoulders and kind of like down the back. So we're not sinking into anything. It's a nice flat back. Neck is long, gaze is forward. We're just gonna start off with a little simple cat-cow. So just tip that head and tailbone up towards the sky and then round the back. I need a little bit of spinal flexion and extension today, and you probably do too. Always good to warm up your spine. This is like what Joseph Pilates always talks about. He says like the foundation to all good health and movement is a healthy spine. So we are gonna do that today. Couple more times each direction. And then stop in the center, find a place of stillness. And let's just take that left leg, stick it out straight behind you, and drop that left hip down, because my hip always peels up when I send that leg out. So drop that hip down so you're nice and long. And we're just gonna take that opposite hand, the right hand, and reach it forward. So we're in a little bit of a bird dog yoga position here. We're gonna make a fusion today. So we're gonna take that arm and leg out to the side and pull right back in. And we're just gonna do that 7 more times. We're reaching out. And I want you to extend as far as you can without interrupting the box of your body. So your hips aren't swaying side to side, your ribs aren't flaring out. Everything is nice and controlled. I think we got 3 more times here, reach it out. 2 more. Last one, come back to the center. Hold that arm and leg out, extend out a little bit further, and then bend the knee, bend the elbow, reach them underneath your body a touch. Extend all the way back out. We're just gonna go 5 times here, nice and slow. Keep everything controlled, keep pulling the abs up towards the spine. 2 more times. Good. Last one. Hold everything out at the end. I want you to do tiny pulses. Send that arm and that foot up towards the sky for 8, 7, 6, 5. Abs still in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that arm and leg down. And press your weight equally back into both knees. But I want you to extend that right arm out still. We're gonna take that arm now and thread it underneath your left and go for a nice little stretch here. So to send those hips back, send that right arm underneath the left, bend the elbow as much as you need to get a nice stretch of the side of your body. Send the hips back, come back up through center, send that arm out. 1 more time, we dive under the body. Big rotation in that spine. Keep pulling the abs up towards the spine here. Come back through center, extend the arm out 1 more time. Place it down. We're gonna extend that right leg out behind us. Left arm extends forward. And we're just gonna start to take that arm and leg out to the side again. So the left arm out to the side, right leg out to the side, back to center. Just 7 more times here. So again, we're still keeping that box of the body in mind. The hips aren't swaying out. We're not buckling the shoulders. Abs are still drawn up and in. 4 more times here. Actually 3 more, I lied. Last 2. Final one. Hold that arm and leg. Bend the elbow, bend the knee, reach them underneath the body a touch, reach back out. It's okay if you lose your balance a little bit. I almost always do doing this. Just because it's challenging. It's not a huge movement, but it is hard to stabilize your core here. 5 more times. Pull that belly button in each time you drop down. 4 more. Pull those shoulders away from those ears for 3, 2. Last one. Hold that arm and leg out long. Little pulses up to the sky with that hand and that foot for 8, 7. Neck is long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring everything down. Keep that left arm extended out. And just start to sweep that arm underneath your body. Go for that nice spinal twist here. Send those hips back. Deep breath in, keep twisting. Try to send your left shoulder as much as you can under your right arm. Come back up, reach that arm forward. We dive 1 more time, bring it all the way down. Huge twist. Get all that good blood flowing through that spinal column. Deep breath in and out. Good. And then come back to center. Sit your hips back onto your heels, shake out your wrists for a second, shake out anything that needs to be shook, as I like to say. We're gonna go into a little bit of a plank series here. We're gonna do forearm planks today. So I want you to bring your forearms down to the floor, having your palms facing in towards each other. If you wanna keep your hands like 11s, that's fine, or if you wanna wrap one palm around one fist to make a little tripod, that's totally fine. Press yourself out into a plank position. So right away, those hips drop down, we send the heels back, so you get a nice stretch in the back of the leg. The gaze is slightly forward and your spine is pulled up in between your shoulder blades. From here, we're just gonna saw this whole shape forward. So we're gonna lift up on those tiptoes, bring those shoulders over the elbows, and then send them right back behind, just 1 inch. Abs pull in towards the spine the whole time. And we're just gonna saw here for 20 seconds. Don't worry, I've got my eye on the time. I don't care how many you do, I don't care if you just hold it, but I want you to keep those hips low, keep finding that great forward. You're halfway there, we're almost done. Good, keep going here for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring those knees down, send the hips back, take a quick rest, child's pose. And when you're ready, we're gonna pop back up into that forearm plank. So again, find that nice form. Send those heels back, hips drop down, abs towards the spine. And we're just gonna drop one knee down to the ground, lift up and switch. Other side, 20 seconds here, just one knee drops and the other one stays lifted. Back and forth. Abs are still drawing in. Try not to let your hips move while you're doing this. Just let the knee tap down. 10 more seconds here, good. Keep going. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, send those knees down, send the hips back, take a rest, child's pose. Deep breath in, deep breath out. When you're ready, we're gonna come back into that plank position. 2 more variations here, then we're out of this. So find that plank again. This time, both knees are gonna drop to the floor and lift right back up. If that's too much for you today, 1 knee at a time is totally fine, or just holding that plank works for me too. We got 15 more seconds here. Keep going. Those knees tap down, just a baby tap, lift back up. Good, 10 more seconds. Good, keep going. Those abs pull in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those knees down, send those hips back. Deep breath in, deep breath out, good. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna lift up one more time, our last variation here. You find that forearm plank hold. Send those hips down, belly button draws in. We just tap one foot out to the side, back to center, other foot taps out. So it's to reach for the corner of your mat, 20 seconds starting now. Keep pulling those abs in. You can also just always hold that plank, but it's totally fine with me. Keep going. Looking great, pull those shoulders apart from each other. 10 more seconds here. Keep pulling those abs in. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those knees down. Really go into your full break here. Separate those hands. Whew. Send those knees apart. Send your hips all the way back. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Good. All right, I think we've done enough work for our kind of our arm stability and on our kind of our forearms. Let's flip onto our backs. Do a little bit of an ab series. So, classic Pilates series of 5 ab series today. I'm feeling like it. It'll be fun. All right, so we're gonna bring those knees just slightly tucked into your chest. Head and chest are gonna curl up, and I want you to bring both your hands on top of your shin, whatever shin you wanna start with. Other leg's gonna extend out at a high diagonal. So right away, a couple things I want you to keep in mind. Those elbows are pressing out to the side. We're not tucking the knee into the chest, there's space, there's length. And we're not gripping onto our leg with the death grip with the hands, they're light. Shoulders are off the ground, belly button pulls in towards the spine, and we switch. Other leg pulls in, reaches out. So just the legs are moving, the rest of the body is still. We're gonna go here for 20 seconds, so you can take it whatever pace you want. All I really care about here is that the belly button pulls down. We're squeezing into the glutes, and your abs control this movement. You're not just collapsing down in the legs. 10 more seconds here. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring both legs in. Keep the head and chest up. Bring one hand to each shin now. Elbows are still out wide to the side. Knees are still out of the chest, so you have a little bit of space there. From here, the arms and legs are gonna reach out away from each other towards opposite corners of the room. We circle those arms around, bring those hands top of the shin, curl up a little bit higher. Reach everything away, circle around, curl it in. Reach it out, curl in. 7 more times here. Keep lifting off of those shoulder blades. Keep sending those legs out long. For 5 more. 4. Good. Keep going here for 3. 2. Last one. Bend those knees and let the head and chest go back just for 1 second. Those legs are going to shoot straight up towards the sky. And I want you to curl the head and chest up. Reach up as high as you can on one leg, whatever leg you want to go with. Bringing your hands either onto the shin or onto the thigh. If you're not feeling as flexible today, that's totally fine. But reach up as high as you can without holding on behind the knee. That opposite leg you're not holding is going to drop down to a 45-degree angle. From here, you're going to kick that leg in towards you twice. 2 small kicks. Kick, kick, pulse, switch. So we kick in twice and switch. And again, just like in that first move we were doing here, the upper body's staying still. The abs are pulling down. Kick, kick, and switch. Good. Let's go for 15 more seconds here. Keep reaching those legs out long. Good. Tiny little kick in. Using the legs, not the hands to kick in. 10 more seconds. Good. Keep pulling in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend those knees into the chest. Let the head go back. Good. Leave that head down on the floor. Shoot those legs straight up towards the sky. Big toe to big toe, knee to knee. Soft point in those toes. Really press those hands down into the mat and spread the collarbones wide away from each other so the chest is nice and open. From here, I want you to really press your tailbone down to the floor. Feel that tiny space of your low back that's in between you and the mat. You're gonna start to bring your legs down to a high diagonal, but you don't wanna go too far. If you feel any pinch in your low back, that is your low point, and you stop. You come in 1 inch and you lift right back up. So we lower down, listen to your body. This is a great point to check in to see how your back is feeling today. There's no need to overextend and overexert here. A small range of motion will do a lot of work for you here. We're just gonna go for 10 more seconds. I'm like, 8 more seconds, that's not a good number for me. Good. Scoop the belly button as you lift back up. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bend those knees into your chest. Hands are gonna reach behind your head, under the neck. Palm over palm at the nape. Head and chest are gonna curl up. Extend one leg out at a high diagonal. And bring opposite knee to opposite elbow. From here, we're just gonna switch. Classic crisscross, back and forth. And you take it at your own pace here. We're gonna go for 20 seconds starting now. The things I care about here, but the hips stay still. Those abs keep pulling in, and you twist from the waist, not from the hips here. 10 more seconds, looking good. Almost done. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those knees into the chest. Whew. And hug them in. Circle the knees in one direction. Circle the other way. When you're ready, rock yourself up to seated. We're gonna plant those feet flat onto the floor. We're gonna press our hands behind us, bringing your palms to flat on the ground and your fingertips facing in towards you. We're gonna do a few tricep dips here. They're never any fun, but boy, do you notice them later. So I want you to lift those hips right off of the floor, just a couple of inches hovering here. Right away, I want you to pull your shoulders back towards each other. I feel like it's really easy to collapse in right here. Don't let that happen. Find that length in the back side of your body. From here, the elbows press back behind you. You lower those hips a little bit. You lift right back up. We're just gonna go 8 more times here. Send those elbows back as far as you can. We go for 6. Doesn't have to be a huge range of motion. I don't care. As long as you feel us work in the back of your arms and you're squeezing your glutes a little. 3 more. 2. Almost last one. We hold down halfway. Tiny bend. Straighten the elbow 1 inch. Bend it back down. Bend, straighten, and bend. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send those hips down. Give those arms a little bit of a shake. We're gonna send those hands right back, and I want you to give yourself a little bit of space on your mat so you have somewhere to put your feet. We're gonna kind of just go into like walking back planks is the only way I can describe this. So I want you to lift those hips up just a couple of inches, and then I want you to send the legs out, straighten them out, and then just walk them right back in. You don't need to lift the hips up to the sky here. This is more about stabilizing the upper body. Just try to keep those hips off of the floor the whole time, walking in and out with one foot at a time. I'd say you could do this with 2 feet, but really that'd be very difficult, possibly not humanly, physically possible. So just one leg at a time works better. 10 more seconds here. Good. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send those hips down. Give your wrist a shake one more time. The last thing we're gonna do here is to challenge those arms, challenge that shoulder stability. So I want you to send those legs out just a little bit further than they have been before when your feet have been flat. But pop up onto those heels. So the toes are up towards the sky. I want you to bring your hands right by your hips this time. Maybe a little bit back. You might have to play with the positioning a little bit. But you're gonna lift your hips off the floor, straighten the legs out, send the hips through the hands, bend the knees, come back in. So we're straightening out the legs as much as possible, coming back in. 15 seconds here. You can just hold this, I don't care, but I want you to keep moving through it. Good. We go for 10, 9, 8, keep that butt lifted, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send those hips down to the floor. Whew. Shake out those wrists. Good, good, good. Punch it out if need be. Sometimes I need that. Good. All right. Let's take this back onto our stomachs. We'll give the arms a break. We'll do a little upper back extension work. Lower all the way down to the floor. And just take a second, adjust yourself on the mat. Make sure your hip points are even. The tops of your feet are pressing down into the ground. Ideally, your feet are together, but if you need a little more room for your low back today, just bring the feet to the corners of your mat. Hands are gonna come right underneath your shoulders. So fingertips are facing forward, elbows tucked back in towards you. So to set up for this movement, I want you to tuck that tailbone slightly underneath you, squeeze the glutes a little bit, and pull that belly button away from the floor. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. From here, I really want you to start to lengthen out your neck. Lengthen out as much as you can. And when you can't lengthen any further, then you start to slowly lift your chest off the floor, pulling the shoulder blades together to help you lift. Lower back down. Those hands are gonna stay on the floor the whole time. We're not straightening out the elbows. Essentially, the work what's happening here is that you're using the muscles in between your shoulder blades so much, but you are just naturally lifting off the floor. The neck is not involved here. In fact, just make sure, check in with your throat, make sure it's nice and relaxed. Check in with your neck, make sure it's away from your ears. Or your shoulders, sorry, your neck will always be next to your ears. But the shoulders, keep lengthening between them. Keep squeezing the glutes. Keep pressing up. Good, let's go for 4 more here. Squeeze those shoulder blades, lengthen out that neck. Chin is slightly forward. 3 more, big squeeze. Good. Last 2. Final one, I want you to hold that squeeze. Hold everything right there. Hover those hands slightly off the floor now. Face those fingertips in towards you. We're just gonna reach those hands straight out in front of you. Bend the elbows, tuck the hands back in. We reach straight out, palms in towards each other. Bend the elbows, pull back in. Pull the shoulder blades together behind you. Out and in. Let's go for 5 more here. Keep squeezing the glutes. Keep pulling the belly button away from the floor. Last 3, 2. On this final one, I want you to hold those hands out in front of you and just start to leave those hands there, leave them hovering. Just start to lift one leg off the ground now, bring it back down. Other leg lifts and down. So we lengthen away, sending those feet out as far as we can. Try to keep those hips stable on the mat. Squeezing those glutes to keep the work out of your low back. Let's go for 5 more here. 4 more, keep reaching those fingertips forward for 3, 2, last one, good. Let those hands drop, bring the hands underneath the shoulders again. Press everything back, find a child's pose. Deep breath in, deep breath out. When you're ready, I want you to come into the center of your mat and come onto your knees. So you're gonna be lifted up nice and tall. Find length on both sides of the body. And I want you to extend your left leg out to the side. So you have a nice tripod shape going on. Your right hand's gonna come down onto the floor. And I want it to be lined up right underneath your shoulder. So your wrist isn't out from far underneath you. It's right underneath that shoulder. We still have a length on the right side of the body though. That left hand's gonna come onto your hip. And I want you to make sure those hips are both facing forward. So we're not tucking down, we're not pouting anything out. Everything's just nice and aligned. From here, that left foot's gonna lift up off of the floor to hip height and lower back down. That's all we're doing here. It's our last kind of booty burn here for the day. Lengthening out both sides of the body. squeezing to that standing glute and squeezing to the left glute, what's lifting up as well. We lift that leg up and down. 4 more here. Lengthening out of both sides of the body. 2. Last one, we hold that leg up. Tiny circles forward here for 8, 9. Oh, sorry, backwards. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to bend that knee now. Keep it still lifted up. And we're just going to just swing that leg forward slightly and then reach it back. Get a nice big stretch for that hip flexor. So tiny little bit forward, big swing back without letting the hips sway around too much. So there's a lot of control. I don't really care how far forward the leg goes as much as I care about you keeping the stable shape with your body. 5 more times. 4 more. 3, keep breathing through it. 2. Last one, keep holding that leg, hold that bend, straighten that leg out, bend it right back in. Straighten and bend to finish. 8 more, keep lengthening out both sides of the body. 7 more, good. 6, squeeze the glutes. 5, pull those abs in for 4. 3, 2, last one, bend down. Take a second. Make yourself into a tiny ball. Collapse and cry. Bring those arms forward, round the back, send the hips back. When you're ready, we're gonna lift up, go on to the other side, and then you know what, we are out of here. So, start off by lifting up nice and tall. Tailbone slightly tucked. Abs are pulled in towards that spine. The right leg extends out this time. Left hand comes down to the mat. And again, find that placement where the wrist is underneath the shoulder. Your hips are nice and stacked on top of each other. You're not dipping down to either side. Everything's pulled in. Tiny squeeze in those glutes. Let's start by lifting up that right leg, dropping it down. Bring that top hand onto your hip. So you can kind of have a little bit of a check-in to make sure you're not kind of sticking your butt out or rounding too far forward. Squeezing the both glutes. Keep that hand soft on the mat. Remember, it's still really your leg what's stabilizing you here. 5 more times. 4 more. Good. 3, 2. Last time we hold that leg up. Tiny circles to that leg forward now for 8, 7. Keep them small and controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that knee in. So just swing that knee forward slightly and then peel it up, open behind you. Tiny bend in, big peel back. So a little tiny tuck, and then we open up. I find it definitely, it's better for your balance to do it this way, because if you really try to like pull that knee into your chest when you reach it forward, you're just gonna wobble all over the place. I want you to keep those glutes nice and stable, nice and tight. Let's go for 5 more here. 4 more, abs still in towards the spine for 3, good. 2, last one, hold that leg out. We're just gonna straighten it out and bend to finish here. We straighten and bend. We go for 8, 7, keep breathing through, you're almost done. 6, 5 more, last 4, 3, 2, final one, bring that leg down, good. Send those hips back, open the knees out wide, send your hands forward, around the back, child's pose. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. When you're ready, I want you to spring those legs forward and just bring your right shin in front of you, your left knee into the sole of your right foot with your left toes behind you. You're gonna bring your left hand onto your left ankle, kind of just having your elbows slightly bent behind you. On a big inhale, you're gonna bring your right hand up overhead, and on an exhale, dive over the left side of your body. Your left elbow's gonna bend back behind you, lengthen out of both sides of your torso. So we're lengthening first up and then over. Both your collarbones are facing forward, shoulders are opening forward, lengthening out both sides of the body. When you're ready, come back through center. Place that right hand onto the floor. Inhale the left arm up overhead. And then exhale, bend everything over to the right. Bend that right elbow back behind you just a little bit so you can get that space. to get that nice good stretch. Reach those fingertips. Try to anchor that left hip down at the same time. When you're ready, come back into the center. Recross or re-Z your legs, so left shin is in front. Right toes are facing back. Left sole of the foot is into the right knee. Bring that right hand onto the right ankle. Inhale out, left arm up overhead. And exhale, dive over to your right. Trying to anchor that left hip down as much as possible. Get length out of the side of that body. Lengthening out both sides of the torso again. I'll say it over and over again because it's so easy to collapse in this because it feels so nice. You just want to like sink down. Don't do that. Breathe into it. When you're ready, that left hand's gonna come down onto the floor. Right arm shoots up towards the sky. Big inhale here. Lengthen out of both sides of the body. Exhale, dive over to the left. Left elbow bends slightly back behind you. Collarbones are open. Reach those fingertips towards the wall, not towards the floor. Anchor that right hip down. Deep breath in here. Fill up those ribs. Exhale, let it all go. When you're ready, come back into the center. And just cross your legs, crisscross applesauce on the floor. Sitting up nice and tall out of your sits bones. So open those collarbones up away from each other again. Pull the abs in towards the spine. Tuck those ribs in slightly. Let's take a big inhale. Bring those hands up overhead. Lengthening through both sides of the body. And exhale. Bring your palms together. Pull them down into your heart center. Draw the shoulders back. Circle it back a couple times. Find a place of stillness. And just take a moment to thank yourself for coming to class and working so hard today, because already, you know what, you're done. That was it, you did it. You're so good, congratulations. Once again, this has been Body by Bender, Matt Pilates, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for working out, not for me, with me today. It's been so fun. Okay, bye-bye.